Hey, what's happening, everybody? We are live. I've got a few people on with us tonight. Just because they're on with us live, they're going to be able to ask their questions verbally. The rest of you who aren't on, on live with us, you can still ask your questions in the group. Um, but we got David Mendoza from left to right. We have David Mendoza, Eugene Henderson, um, Zach, and we also have Rick with us. So I think it'll show up the same way on your screen as it does on mine. So really, all we're going to do tonight is kind of, our main focal points for this evening's training is going to be, obviously we're all about building our email list. So what components do we need to have in place in order to make that happen? So obviously you should have a ClickFunnels account, or if you don't have a ClickFunnels account, you're welcome to use something else, but you need to have some sort of something that you create your capture pages with and that type of stuff. But all questions, obviously, I use ClickFunnels, so I'll be able to do my best to answer um, any questions you have in regards to it as best I can. Also, regarding Aweber and just the whole idea of list building, how do we get from point A to point Z as quickly as possible. So also tonight we're going to go over and we're going to be introducing the paid traffic. So I've contacted one of my solo ad providers, and we're pretty much ready to go. I'm expecting a fairly decent amount. Myself personally, I'm gonna be purchasing a lot of traffic here in the next couple of weeks, or I'll purchase probably a couple $1,000s worth of traffic this week, and it will be added into whatever you guys want to do as well. Of course, you don't have to buy that kind of traffic. I just like paid traffic because it's a lot easier than it's a lot easier way to build your list without having to put forth nearly as much effort. So Rick had a couple of questions. Actually, before we went live, I guess I'll kind of start with that. So this is, we're all relatively new at using ClickFunnels and Aweber and doing all this stuff. So any question you have, don't be afraid to ask. So I don't care if it's what may seem like the most simple question there is. You could probably bet that there's probably one or two or three or a lot of people among us who probably want that question answered as well. They just aren't asking. So please don't be shy. So anyone that's on live, Eugene, I think your mic is still not muted. I don't know if you can mute it or not. But and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just post a thread. I'm going to post in the group right now and create like a questions thread. And any questions you have, you can simply ask on there. Or ask whatever questions you want. All right, so I just posted in the group. All right, so a couple of questions that Rick had was he was having trouble integrating, not necessarily the integration process, but connecting his Aweber with ClickFunnels so that when someone opts in, it wasn't, I guess he tested it out, and the person that opted in to his ClickFunnels, into the squeeze page was not being added into his subscription list in Aweber. So I'm going to that would be a good starting point because that's it's not really, once you know how to do it, it's pretty simple. But I'm just going to show you guys how to do that right now. So to make sure that, just in case someone else has that question, we will answer it right now. All right, so somebody help me out. Can you see my screen right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, awesome. Thanks, guys. So right now I'm in ClickFunnels. And this is a landing page that I'm testing out for Traffic Fusion right now. So here's some stats. I'm just now testing it out. I'm driving free traffic to this particular one. So I've got 44 visitors, 14 leads so far, and so it's like almost a 32% opt-in rate, which is not too bad. It's pretty good for, and I'm only doing this on Facebook. So it's free traffic on Facebook, and I've generated 14 leads, and I'm not being aggressive at all with it. So it's not too bad. So hopefully soon, in the next couple of days, David Mendoza and I are both testing out different variations of this particular landing page. So hopefully in the next couple of days, we'll have what we feel is a good starting point for you guys. For those of you who have been approved for Traffic Fusion, you'll have a pretty much done for you funnel ready to go. So, all right, so Rick, this is going to be the answer to your question. Okay, so for example, with this particular squeeze page, on the right-hand side, we have all of the different stuff. What we need to make sure is to make sure that it's connected with the correct list, right? So we know where to find that now within, within Aweber. So I have my list created here. So this one is for Traffic Fusion. You can see I've created the list. Once you've created the list, a couple of things here. Let me go here. First of all, I'm not sure if I went over this in the training videos. I think I might have, but let me see. So here's a Traffic Fusion list. So what you want to do is, I suggest that you guys set everything up for single opt-in. So if you follow the videos and you've set up, you've created a list within Aweber, and again, if you haven't gone through the videos in the file and the documents there, getting started with Aweber is extremely simple. You're just going to create a list, and really that's basically it. It's just a matter of what you want to do with that list after you have it created. So say Rick, for Traffic Fusion, make sure you click on Manage Lists in the top right corner, and go down. You'll see on the left-hand side here, there's 3 different options: Basic Settings, Personalize Your List, and Confirm Opt-in. So click on Confirmed Opt-in. Make sure that in the Require Opt-in section, make sure that these are both turned off. That way it's set up for a single opt-in rather than double opt-in. If you have it turned on, what's going to happen is the person opts in, and then they're going to be sent an email telling them that they need to click on something to confirm that they want to be on that list. But a lot of times Aweber and other different autoresponders, they'll suggest that you do double opt-in. The way I see it is, if someone sees some information from me and they give me their name and email address, they're telling me that they want to opt in. So I always just do single opt-in, and then make sure you save that. And then also with the list, again, what you need to do is create a sign-up form. And this training's in the in the group, so I'm not going to actually show you how to do that. You just go look at the video. It's literally 3 clicks of the button, and you have a sign-up form created. So that way, once we connect Aweber to the ClickFunnels, so the squeeze page, we're actually going to connect it with not only the list, but also with the sign-up form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you here. So to connect it with Aweber, right now it's already connected, but I'm going to go ahead and remove it for the time being really quickly here. Okay, so this is what you'll see. So right now you just created your squeeze page, and now you want to connect it with the list that you just created within Aweber. What you're going to do is, the first thing we're going to do is select the integration. So obviously you're going to choose Aweber and the action. So now you have to select an integration action. Integrate existing form. Now you're going to select a list. Now another thing that you may say that you already created this capture page, right? And then second, you went over and created your list and your sign-up form in Aweber. ClickFunnels may not recognize that you've done that, so just so you know, you may need to refresh your list so that the list appears in the section where you're going to select the list. So once you do that, you're simply just going to click on the button, and we're going to look for the list that we created. And there it is, my web form, Traffic Fusion. So now I've connected it, so now I'm reconnected again. Now I don't know, Rick, if you want to unmute. Did you already do all that?
Yes, I did all that. And what ClickFunnels actually came back to me the first time with was saying that sometimes with these autoresponders and email clients, they sometimes, even though I shut off the extra opt-in and all that, I shut all that off. But they said sometimes that gets stuck in the double opt-in even though we turn it off. I don't know if that's the case. I told him, I said, well, it went through one time. I don't know why it wouldn't go through the other times that I tried to test it.
Okay. Trying to think of what else you can do.
Now down there on Elements, do you have to put anything in the submit button URL action button?
No, I mean really. Well, because you're talking about like the find out how button here on my screen.
Right. If you go down to Elements, there.
Yeah, no. You don't need to do that. The elements are just the different pieces to creating your capture page. But once, if you've connected everything in the settings, so as far as the redirect override to your JVZoo product, that's all that is. That's basically saying when I click here, it's going to redirect to that product. So as long as you've done that, that should be fine. It has nothing to do with Aweber.
Okay.
I would just try one more time going through the process again. Maybe there's this one little piece that you missed, but it sounds like you did it right. Just try it again, and if you can't get it, by the end of the day tomorrow, or by early tomorrow, let me know, and we'll set up a screen share, you and I, and we can handle that.
Because I'm actually doing the same product.
Perfect. So you're doing it with Traffic Fusion, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So I mean, I followed just what everything that you've done. So.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure why it's not connecting right, but we'll definitely. There must be something that we're missing. So we'll.
So what I'll do is I'll deactivate it in Aweber, and then I'll clear out the ClickFunnels thing and restart it all over from the beginning again.
Yeah. Just start over. Just create a new list, do it all over again, and if it doesn't work, just message me tomorrow, and we'll get you set up. I'll help you do it.
All right. Thanks.
All right. So far, 8 people have seen the question, or I don't know if anyone has any questions. I guess we can just kind of go over stuff, kind of. See. David, do you have any questions? Eugene, Zach, Tim, do you have any questions?
No, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, I think you got everything pretty much down packed.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to help Rick earlier too and stuff like that, but yeah, I didn't think about the double opt-in. I thought maybe that when you brought that up, that might have been it, but apparently not.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
No worries. All right. Well then, let's just kind of go over the general idea of what we're doing here. I mean, ultimately, for you, no matter what you've been doing in the past, building a team. One of my biggest I've always built my list, but one of the things that I haven't leveraged my list, meaning that I've built my list over time, but I've always been the type of person that I've just constantly been joining different biz ops, and you guys know, and just I've always done well, but in this industry, the majority of people don't stick with a business opportunity long enough. So once I realized that the majority of people who are working on the internet they're really, no one really comes out and says this, but they're really doing things as if they wanted to be an affiliate marketer, meaning that they want to sell different products, rather than being we're always networking, so I don't want to say you don't want to be a network marketer, because no matter what business I don't care what you're doing, you should always be networking and making connections and all that. but rather than joining like MLMs all the time. I mean, jumping from one big opportunity, like a multi-level marketing opportunity, every 2 weeks, every month, every 3 months, really doesn't make any sense. So again, stick with one. I don't care what your primary business is. Just make sure it's something that you're passionate about. Is what I'd suggest, is something that you like, and it's stable and all that jazz. But for people like me who are somewhat ADD and I like to always be doing new things, truly the reason why I started doing affiliate sales is because I can always be looking and searching for new cool products that I can offer to people who have opted into my list. So that's the general idea of why I'm doing what I'm doing and why I'm teaching you how to do this as well. And of course, at the same time, while doing that, my main primary focus, number one thing that I always want to do is make my email list grow every single day, because I know that once I have an email list of 100,000 people that I can email information to every single day with a click of a button, it's literally like setting up your own ATM machine online, right? So that's why I'm excited about finally getting on what I feel is the right path as an internet marketer, and sharing my results and passing on exactly what I'm doing with you guys to get you on that path as quickly as possible as well. Because ultimately, if you get on the path now, there's no reason why you can't be creating a substantial income, or not necessarily a substantial, but having a consistent income within the next 90 days. Within the next 6 months, you're definitely on your way, and within a year, you should be able to create a full-time income working from home on the internet, unless if your monthly outgoing money exceeds like $20,000 a month or over $10,000 a month, you might need to wait a little bit longer. But if you're like most normal people and your expenses are in the range of say $3 to $5 grand, there's no reason why you can't build your email list big enough through both paid and free traffic strategies to literally be able to wake up every day or take one day out of the week to create your 7-day email follow or 7-day email broadcast series, and literally just it's a lot more fun when you can just be out and about and check your phone and see that payments are coming in from something that you set up on say Saturday, and today's Monday, and now people are purchasing that product that you set up the email on Monday. So I mean, ultimately, to make all that happen, all we really need is the pieces that I'm giving you, right, or that I'm showing you, is a squeeze page system, which ClickFunnels is the best that I've ever seen, and an autoresponder is really all you need, because you need the squeeze page system obviously to capture the lead, right, or to for them to be able to opt in to provide their information, and that information is simply passed on to your autoresponder and starts beginning to build your list. So,
Matt,
does that make sense to you guys?
Am I coming through it all?
What's that, man?
Oh, okay, I was testing this mic. I plugged in a different mic here. I'd kind of like to elaborate on that a little bit, what you talked about there, Matt, because a lot of people.
Barely hear you, Tim.
Hey, you're really quiet, brother.
Barely hear you.
Can you hear me at all now?
Yeah, just yell really loud. Just kidding.
Okay, yeah, I want to elaborate on that just a little bit, Matt. That those of us that have some experience in different forms of marketing, multi-level marketing, whatever you want to call it, that this program is something that is generic enough that it can be applied for anything, and the tools are necessary for no matter what we use them for. So I think what's exciting about this is we talk about some of the experience that people have in networking where they want to create a consistent income, where they've had challenges with that, especially just getting started, where I think this is going to allow them to have some consistency with daily income, but also be able to employ the same tools and the same training with pretty much anything they're going to be working on. So it's not something that excludes other options. To take the information and the benefits of what you're learning here, and all the tools you're going to use here, that you're creating consistent income with affiliate offers, and also employ those with with your team and with yourself to grow your organizations and downlines and other programs.
Yeah, absolutely, and I mean, because obviously, a number of us are in different primary business opportunities. So this is complete. It is. You're right, Tim. It's generic enough that literally anyone that you know who is trying to make money online on the internet, and the majority of people aren't doing this. I mean, they're that people have heard about list building and creating squeeze pages and marketing funnels and all that, but they're not doing it. And in my opinion, they should be learning how to doing this, what we're doing now, and what I'm showing you how to do. That should be their primary focus, not necessarily the business opportunity. The business opportunity should be kind of taken and put back a little bit. I'm not saying quit. Stick with your primary business opportunity, but just think of it this way. I mean, right now, over the next say 30 days, let's just say that I get pretty aggressive and I buy a decent amount of paid traffic, and I'm doing a lot of advertising on social media, and let's just say I build my list by, I don't know, I could probably say I build it by, let's just keep it simple, 1,000 people. I could build it bigger than that, but let's say I build my list in 30 days by 1,000 people. And of all those new 1,000 people that have opted into my email list for something, offering them something that has to do with obviously the home-based business niche and internet marketing, none of them know what my primary business opportunity is, right? So that's 1,000, excuse me, that's 1,000 new people that I can now introduce my primary business to as well. So rather than always going on Facebook and going through the same circles of people, like we all know each other, like, I mean, there's different circles on Facebook, but for the most part, like, I admit it, I've pitched like people on so many different opportunities on Facebook. I'm just sick of introducing business opportunities to people, and I'm sure they're sick of hearing it from me, right? So by building an email list and building up to 1,000 new people, I now can I could take a day or two and come up with some sort of a compelling 5-day email sequence that I'm going to send out to those 1,000 people, introducing them to my primary business opportunity to encourage them to join. Of that 1,000 people, I guarantee that I'll get some sales and my team will grow, right? So, I'm in a couple of different things, so I'm not saying I'm not going to do that. Like, so the whole point is right now, no matter what you're in, if you build your list, rather than having to sit on Facebook all day and try to introduce people to a primary business opportunity, maybe do it like more strategically. Like, it's like playing chess. Like, let's set up all the pieces first, right? Build your list, build your list, build your list, and then boom, checkmate. And then you hit that list and you can introduce 1,000, 2,000 people to whatever your primary business is. And then suddenly people are like, dang, look at what you did. How did you do that? Well, I'll show you if you do X, Y, Z, right? So you leverage your results at that point. So you build your list, you email your list, you have a big growth in any business, you show those results, you let people know that your team's growing, curiosity then comes, and next thing you know, you start multiplying, your results start to multiply from that. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I hope that makes sense.
Not only does it make sense, if you look at your typical person, we're not going to even talk about stats. We already know the failure rate out there, but your average person isn't doing anything to build a list. They know they need to, and I'll give you a real world experience. I was talking to Matt the other day, and and one time he's asked, well, how's your list building going? And he says, we talked about this 50 times. So at that point, it was 51 times. So remember that, 51 times. Matt's like, hey man, how's your list building going, right? So sometimes we have to remind ourselves that no matter how many people we enroll in programs and that, and to have them achieve the same type of results that we do, they have to employ the same things. But sometimes it takes a reminder from our friends to say, look, you've got to get back to basics, buddy. If you want to see the growth with your primary business, no matter what it is, this is what we have to do. So if you want to see growth with any kind of multi-level company or networking business out there, they've got to employ the same basic strategies and the same tools and techniques that you use with this. So it's a shoe, and then no matter what they're promoting out there, they need this program, they need the training, they need the tools, and that. And every product that you use in this, and I kind of joke around with people and say, well, look, if you sneeze and grab a Kleenex, look for an affiliate offer to sell that box of Kleenex, because it's only a matter of time before somebody else is going to sneeze and need one too. And it's built into the cost. You might as well go ahead and get a referral offer, So look at all the tools and things like that you use in the day-to-day business as not so much of a cost, but as an option to be able to create another income source. But this the basic list building and building rapport with your list, and and plugging in different affiliate offers and segmenting. These are the basic foundations of any business.
Absolutely. I mean, like I've said it over and over again. I mean, the most successful people that I personally know in the internet marketing space, in MLM and all that, um, they've built big email lists. That's why they're so powerful, because they can, join any business opportunity and put tons and tons of people into them because they have a fast and easy way to communicate with people rapidly. So even for the average person, I see a lot of people who are primarily Facebook marketers, and they can build big teams, but they have to. It's the process to get it going. It takes a lot longer rather than simply just you start emailing out information to a large email list. But let's real quick. I mean, obviously, hopefully that those of you who are on here, you are starting to grasp and see like maybe that building an income online, there's a better way to do it. And I hope that you joined us because you see, or starting to see, at least the minimum of that, you're starting to see that list building and making offers to an email list is a definite alternative, if not a better alternative, to what you've been doing before. Another thing, some people have asked me this as well, and I think it might have actually been Tim, or I'm not 100% sure, but someone asked me, is like, is offering too many different products to your email list a bad thing? And what I'm starting to figure out, or what I suggest to you guys, so after you guys get going and you start building your email list, and then you start making offers, I would suggest maybe making one offer for a particular product per week, and you simply send out that offer 7 times, one each day over the course of that week, and then another one, and then another one. So you potentially could offer, say 52 different products throughout the course of the year. And you may be thinking, wow, that's a lot of different things to offer to the people on your list. Won't they get annoyed? Won't people start opting out of your list? First of all, yes, not everyone will get annoyed, so no to that one, but yes, people will opt out. But that's okay, because a lot of people, just because you offer product A to the people on your list, it doesn't mean that everybody's going to fall in love with product A, right? So product B might be the solution that a lot of people on your list are looking for. If you don't make the offer, I'm going to make the offer, right? So I'd say, and if someone, not me, it could be me, but if you don't offer, one of a huge problem in this industry is people are afraid to ask for the sale. They're afraid to make the offer and ask for the sale. If you don't ever make the offer, how are people ever going to buy something from you, right? So I suggest not being as scared of, once you start building your list, just make the offers. Just go and look around, find cool products that you can offer to the people on your list, and then make the offers to them. One of the best, and I've told many people this over the past 2 years, but one of the best books I've ever read in regards to list building and making offers is called How to Get Super Rich in the Opportunity Market. David, is that what it's called? It's slipping my mind. I know you know the book I'm talking about. T.J. Rohleder.
Yes, that's it. Yes, you got it. That's right.
How to get super
rich.
And the Opportunity Market.
I'm gonna look it up right now. I'm gonna look in my little library.
And I mean, you can get it. I think David, do you mind if I tell them your way of getting it?
No, not at all.
David can actually get you access to this book for free. So maybe later on, David, if there's a way you can post in the group how to get this book.
Yeah, I can do that.
So David.
Yeah, I'll have to. It's a PDF, so what I'll do is I'll try to see if I can put the link. I'll arrange it. I'll put it in the files section in the group.
Yep.
I have it in there tomorrow. I have to find it first.
No worries. But as far as I got, this book was suggested to me by, I guess, somewhat of a mentor, someone that taught me a lot, by Dagan Smith. And I mean, honestly, like, I read that book and it hit me how powerful, building a list. And the author T.J. Rohleder, who wrote this, he's been doing this for years. So it was more of a direct mail list, which is just like building an email list, but only he was actually delivering information to their door. So rather than delivering information to a person's door, which costs a lot of money, we now can deliver information to people's emails, which costs like nothing to do, very little. So definitely, if you want something to read this weekend, that's a very powerful book. And it's also something that if you get into it and you start really getting serious about list building and the possibilities with it, it's definitely a book that you'll want to refer back to over and over again. I mean, since I've moved here to Florida in the past 4 months and we've put tons of our stuff in storage, I don't have this book with me, and I've wanted to grab it and read it probably 3 or 4 times since I've been here, and I don't have it. So lots of good stuff in there. So that's definitely one that you should get. All right, so let's get some questions here. We have 3 questions. Jim is asking, if different people are promoting different products, how will traffic be divided? All right, so I'm assuming, Jim, you're asking about the paid traffic that we'll be introducing here very soon. Ultimately, we're all going to drive traffic to the same squeeze page. So everyone's going to create a duplicate of this just to make it simple. So let me show you the one that we'll do. So we're all going to drive traffic to the same one. That way it just keeps it simple for the solo app provider. And then all I will need is your link for the copy of this. So this is the simple one that we will be using. So you'll create an exact, by clicking the link. If I haven't put it in the group yet, I will put it in there, and you're just going to click on it, and this is the simple opt-in form squeeze page that we'll be using. It's simple, but it's getting like a 40% opt-in rate. I'm going to test out a couple other ones too to see if I can't put together something that even produces a higher opt-in rate with this particular solo ad provider. Then what you'll do is whatever offer you're going to make. So say that you are offering something different than me. Obviously all you're going to do is come to the settings section here, and you're going to come to the redirect override within yours and put in the product that you're ultimately going to make that offer for. So it's all a numbers game. So I think another question that we had. So I hope that answers your question. We're all going to drive traffic, Jim, to the same opt-in form. You're going to create a duplicate of it. The actual product being offered will be different, right? So what we're going to do is, in the next few minutes here, I'm going to let you guys know how much it's going to cost per share to be involved in the paid traffic co-op, and how many clicks you'll get for those shares. So, at that point, if you buy multiple shares, I'm just going to put your link into the traffic rotator that many times. So for example, if you bought, say that we, as a total unit, say we buy 100 shares, and you bought 5 of those shares, Jim, your link will be in the rotator 5 times. If Trent comes in and he buys 10 shares, hypothetically, his link would be in there 10 times. So he gets twice as much traffic.
Okay. Where's the book? In her purse?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey David, you're
Oh, I'm sorry.
No worries, man. I thought you had a question. You did, but it wasn't for me. All right, so I hope that answers your question, and I'll go over that again here in a few minutes. Trent, let's see. Typically, I mean, maybe you can, Trent, in regards to your question, are you talking about using free traffic or paid traffic? So Jim, good. I hope I answered your question, and we'll go over it again here in a few minutes. All right, so all right, Linda, are you talking about something to do with Aweber, within our group, or just in general, people's emails going into spam rather than into their inboxes? And typically, Aweber has a really high deliverability rate, so it's not like some flyby piece of junk autoresponder. So their deliverability rate to the inbox is extremely high. Really, the only things that would maybe lower that deliverability rate is when you write your emails, if the spam score is extremely high. So, for example, make sure I have all this stuff saved. So once you have you write an email, it's going to show you a spam score. And like you can see here, in this particular follow-up series over here, you can see the spam score 0.0, 0.2, 1.6, 0, 0, 1.4, 0. 0 is the best you can have, right, within Aweber. Even at 1.6, that's nothing. That's a really good spam score, I guess, right? So as long as you keep the score low and you don't have I don't even know, to be honest, I'm not really sure what to say as far as what would be considered a high spam score. But what's going to cause that to happen is if you have links that you're sending out in your emails that are known to be kind of shady sites and stuff like that, which, like using like JVZoo, there's really no problem with JVZoo with Aweber, right? So it's going to keep your spam score low. Also using certain words, like if you've ever gotten emails and you ever see the word like free sometimes within the email, a lot of times people will put a period after the letter F. That way they're trying to trick Aweber or their autoresponder into not recognizing those words, like certain words within it. So I'm not sure if I'm answering your question right, Linda, but that's basically it. You basically just want to keep your spam score as low as possible when you begin emailing your lists moving forward.
Hey, Matthew.
Yes.
Question about the emails that you write your own emails, or are those written within the offers?
Yeah, I like to keep things as simple as possible. So, a lot of times within JVZoo, and again, I think I have the video in the file. So, for those of you who are just getting started, one of the main things I would do is, come up to the file section within our group and simply go through the different documents we have here. I would start off with JV, and maybe I'll put like a 1. I would do JVZoo first, maybe Aweber or ClickFunnels second, and then the other one third. And then at that point, you should have a general idea of how everything works. Then what you want to do is you want to create a funnel. So we have a simple, easy way here to simply come in and literally you can click and create your first little funnel that you can begin to promote for free. Then after that, obviously the paid traffic one will be here. So to make sure. Yep. So the copy of the squeeze page that we'll be using for this first co-op is right here. As long as you're logged into your ClickFunnels account and you click on this, it will create a duplicate or a copy of it in your ClickFunnels account. At that point, all you're going to need to do is, again, just connect whatever product it is that you're going to offer to that, and of course connect your Aweber list to it as well. But we'll do probably a full, we'll spend a whole hour making sure that those of you who get involved in the co-op, we will make sure 100% that you are ready to go before we start sending that paid traffic to it. But back to your question, Rick. Sorry, bro. Got a little off track there. For the most part, I write some of my own emails, but it's in regards to when I'm offering a product. So if the creator of the product, Traffic Fusion, for example, it's their product, it's their baby. I'm sure that they put a lot of, they should have, and in my opinion, because their emails are converting for me. So they put a lot of effort into writing that email swipe. So within JVZoo,
Okay. It is what it is.
somebody not muted? Or is that you, Rick?
Nope, it's not me.
I think we're good. All right, so you go into JVZoo, and all right, so we'll go to our products. So I'm just going to use I'll use Traffic Fusion as the example, right? So I simply come here. So here's the information about Traffic Fusion, right? And I went over this the other day, but check it out. So, and this is another thing that you should look for. Is the person's product that you're going to be promoting, do they give you the marketing tools and promotional materials? Do they create it for you to make your life that much easier? So that's one of the things I want it to be as easy as possible. So right here for Traffic Fusion, for the promo tools and blah, 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 I'm going to go here. It's going to give me all of the information that I need, all of the emails, all that. So to answer your question, I do not always write my own emails. Sometimes I do. If I feel like the emails that are being given to me, if they look good, heck yeah, let's use them. Make it easier, right? Where is it at? Okay, promo tools. So once, you know, whenever you're in here and you're looking around with it, again, all I did is I went to my approved products, or, you know, even if you could actually look at, you could find out if this information is available even before you get approved, because obviously this page is just going to look exactly the same. It's just going to tell you to request approval, but you'll still be able to see whether or not they're going to provide you with the marketing materials. So to me, that's another, it's just a benefit for me to want to promote a person's product. You know, are they giving me everything I need to be successful with it, to make it easier on me so I can get results? So, you know, always, that's something you should always do, is look, you know, what kind of promo tools and stuff do they have, right? So does that answer your question, Rick? I think it does, right? Probably a little too much.
No, that's fine. That's yeah, that was the question I had. I mean, the subject lines are not. I saw these emails, but the subject line wasn't there. What do you usually generally use for a subject line? Do you have a set of subject lines that you use, or?
No, man. I mean, they're like here, for example, right here. If you're looking at my screen, you could see. Let me make it bigger for you. Okay, so here. Let's get it. All right, so mail 1. So these are examples right here. Whoops. These are examples of the subject lines.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So they're saying, look, man, use any of these subject lines with this, with this particular email body. Right?
Okay. Okay.
So I just come out like, okay, which of these do I like the best, right? And sometimes I'll use, you know, like Traffic Fusion, I've you know, mailed it to my list a number of times. Sometimes I'll send out the same email, make a couple of very subtle changes to it, and I'll use 2 different subject lines. So today's Monday, so maybe I'll do Traffic Fusion early bird offer is live, right? And maybe I'm going to use this same email because I really like this email, make a couple of changes to it, but I also like live push button instant traffic software. So maybe I'll send out one today with this subject line, and I'll send it another on Friday with this subject line. I mean, I've done that before, making this a couple subtle changes to it. So does that make sense, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, all these mails that are in here, that's not the autoresponder series that you set up, right? You just take one mail out of whichever mail you want to use.
Well, let's say, like right now, you are trying to set up a complete funnel, squeeze page, offering the product, and I'm assuming you're gonna want to advertise that particular funnel on Facebook. So what you'll want to do is come in here, and to be honest, I've already got it ready for you. It's gonna be ready. David and I both will have this. But let's say that that's another one of the perks of being a part of this, right now, being a member of this, is, and don't get me wrong, you want to continuously be learning how to do this stuff, but for the time being, I'm going to basically give you a share code, and you're going to have access to this. So this is, for example, Traffic Fusion. This is my follow-up series. So I've already created the funnel for you guys, and I'm already testing it. So you can see that you can see my stats already, right? So I have a 6-email follow-up series, which I'll give you guys the share code for. So you're just simply going to put that share code into your Aweber, and bam, it's done. And then all you have to do is edit the emails to put your name in it and your link. So you can see people are opting in, and I'm already on day 2 of the follow-up series, because obviously they haven't gotten to day 3 yet because it's so new. I've got a 26.7% open rate on the first one. The second day is actually higher, which is great, 33.3% open rate. And we'll see what happens tomorrow, right? So I'm already testing out the follow-up series. So far, I've gotten, I haven't driven a ton of traffic to this particular, with the free traffic, but I've already got 1 sale this morning from free traffic with my follow-up series. So I'm just basically going to try to do my best to get that set up for you. That way, you have it done for you. But ultimately, to kind of get back to what you're asking, Rick, is. You want to take these different messages that are in here, and if I didn't have that ready for you, what you'd want to do is, look at, with a good follow-up series, some people do, a 3-day, some people do a 6-day, 7-day, some people do like, a 30-day follow-up series. It's kind of crazy, but for being an affiliate to something, it's not. If it was your own product and you were going to sell it, write a 100-day email follow-up series. But for a product that you're an affiliate to, what I'd suggest is simply coming in here and finding, say, 6 different ones, which most of the time that's about how many they're going to give you. So you can see here, they've given me 7 actually. So what I do is I look at it and say, does it make sense? Like, for example, Launch Swipe 4, even though I have sold T-shirt products, my lists aren't segmented that I can. It wouldn't make sense for me to use a subject line like the smartest way to sell T-shirts or crazy new traffic for selling T-shirts to my general list. If I had a segmented list that was specifically for people selling T-shirts, that would make sense. So, whenever you're going, the point is whenever you're looking through people's swipe copy that they have ready for you, make sure you look at it and you read it first and say, does that make sense for the people that I'm going to be sending this email to? So make sure you do that. But that's basically it as far as whenever you create your funnel and you have a follow-up series. Now, say that you have, as you get going, you'll have an email list for, say, Traffic Fusion, and then you'll have an email list for another product, and then you'll have an email list for another product. All of a sudden, you'll have 5, 10, 20, potentially hundreds of different email lists. But there's always new products come out. So say that you have 20 different email lists. They're all interested in the same basic things. They're all internet marketers. They're all wanting to make money from home. So it's all the same niche. What you'll want to do is you'll want to start sending out broadcast messages. So within Aweber, just simply hover over Messages, and you'll create a broadcast message. So you would click there, and you use drag and drop email builder is the one I suggest you use. You put your email in there. Then after you have that email created, what you can do at that point is you'll be able to choose what lists do you want to send that email to, when do you want to send it to them, and you can actually set it up so you could send it right now, right this instant, to 5 of your 20 lists, or you can send it right now instantly to all 20 of your email lists, or you could schedule it for tomorrow or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, and so on and so forth. Does that make sense, Rick?
Yep, perfect sense. Appreciate it.
Perfect. Yep. All right, cool. All right, so
Hey Matt, I had one question about the share codes with regard to both Aweber and for ClickFunnels. When somebody's actually giving away the share code to somebody else to use it for their team or whatever, is it actually cookie to the original account? Like, if that person no longer had that account or something, it will no longer be valid, or is it something like actually imports all the information like you would if you were sending a photo or something? Do you know if it's actually there's a tie-in in the back end of the database to the other account?
um, I was trying to listen to exactly what you're asking. So as far as the share code within Aweber,
Now, say for example, you shared in either one, from Aweber or ClickFunnels. You say, okay, this campaign's doing great, getting incredible opt-ins, and here's my follow-up series. Fine-tuned it, and we're getting great responses and sign-ups and all this. All right, so you share that with your team. If somebody duplicated that, and somebody discontinued that account, maybe they, instead of going through Aweber, they chose to you know, export the list to another provider or something like that. Is that share code, if you still had that same service, still going to be applicable in your back office for your Aweber or for your ClickFunnels account, or because they no longer have an active account, that service is no longer valid?
um, you're really hard to hear, Tim. So I'm going to try to answer your question.
I guess you know what I mean.
What's that, man?
Well, I guess looking at it like a broken link, like if that link no longer just existed in their account because they no longer use that account, would it be the same in yours?
I'm not sure what you mean, bro. I mean, look, like for this, let's use this as an example, right? So I have my follow-up series for the Traffic Fusion one, right? So if I wanted to share this exact campaign right here, all these emails, right? And the only variables within these emails that would need to change from me to you, for example, are it says my name, Matthew Aaron, within it, right? And then it also would have my link to the product. So you, of course, you don't want me to get all those sales, so you'll have to change out your link within the emails and put Tim in there rather than Matthew Aaron. And that's really the only variables that need to change. And if I went here and put in the follow-up message here. Then right there, bam, I've already got. So if I gave you this list, bro, this list code here, and you click on it and if you put it into your Aweber here, it's going to give you instantly this follow-up series. So it'll be done. And the reason why it's saying this is because I accidentally hit the other button. I should have done that.
Let's say, for example, you decide you're no longer going to use Aweber, but prior to that, you provided me this the code, or same thing with ClickFunnels, for example. If you provided me the same information, and then you no longer use that service, that's what I'm trying to wrap my head around. I guess if it'd be like a broken link, if it's kind of coded to the original person that sent it, or it's irrelevant once after they sent it.
So if I used Aweber and then suddenly I didn't want to use it anymore.
Yeah, say if you exported your list, if for some reason you chose, well, I'm not going to use this. I guess maybe more accurate. Look at ClickFunnels, for example. If you had a squeeze page or something you developed, and somebody sent you over like in the same illustration. You send that over and said, okay, this is working great for conversion. But now you decide to go with a totally different service for whatever reason. Now you're no longer using ClickFunnels. In my back office, there's no link between the original sender, which is you, and my link hadn't received it, right?
So you're saying that if you used a different service other than ClickFunnels, could I share my ClickFunnels page with you?
No, like a broken link. If I'm sharing something on Facebook, for example, and then I delete that content, and somebody clicks on it later, seeing some a link there, it's no longer going to be a link because it deletes it out of their database. I'm saying with ClickFunnels, I'm kind of curious, if it works in a similar way, but I guess we can look at the back end to see if it's that
Well, yeah, I mean, like for this landing page, for example, here, this squeeze page here, if I just totally deleted this page and it no longer existed, and somewhere out in internet land, someone still clicked on the link from it today, and I for whatever reason I stopped using this next week, and they click on it 6 months from now, it's going to say some sort of an error or whatever, right? So I mean,
All right,
I hope
so
I'm not.
you created this page and then you deleted the page, but you already sent it to me, and I want to continue using that page. I'm not going to get the same error code, right? It's actually sending like the whole file over, not a link to that.
Correct. Okay. Let's see. I think I got you. So I created this. You create a copy of it within your ClickFunnels account,
Right.
and then something happens to me. You know, please don't let nothing happen to me. But for whatever reason, mine disappears. It's gone. Is that going to affect yours? Is that your question?
Yeah, because I was just looking at it from the standpoint if you had a large organization or a whole team that was reliant on one single share code.
Correct. It would not affect you. Like with ClickFunnels, I mean, once you create your copy of it, it'll be in your account.
All right.
So it will not. I mean, I could, if you created the copy of that one we were just on, and for whatever reason I came back in here, and I deleted this, you would still have it. You could even create to be certain of it. You could create a duplicate, another copy of it too. That we have multiple. I really don't think it would affect it. I'm kind of answering your question. It's an assumption, but I'm pretty strong in feeling that it would not affect yours. I mean, like right now, if you had a copy of this and I deleted it, yours would still work because it's copied into your ClickFunnels account.
All right.
Let's see. All right, so Trent, okay, free or paid, wondering on average how many people visit the funnel per opt-in, blah, 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 34%. Out of 100 people, what was the average people? Right now, Trent, for what I've been doing on Facebook, I've been getting roughly let's say a 30% opt-in rate. So obviously out of 100 people, yeah, I mean, you understand, 30%, 30 out of 100 are opting in. And with paid traffic, I'm currently getting about a 40% opt-in rate with paid traffic. So if I have 100 clicks to my link, I'm going to generate roughly 40 leads from that. So I hope that answers your question. My opt-in rate, my current opt-in rate is higher with the paid traffic than it has been on Facebook, which is where I do most of my free advertising at. The main benefits, I mean, big benefit of doing paid traffic is that you get a lot of traffic, and you get it fast, rather than taking the time to do it all on Facebook or through free strategies. It's a lot more work and takes a lot more time to do things the free way rather than just doing it the paid way. So it really just depends on how quickly you want to reach your destination. Do you want to walk to get there, or do you want to fly, right? So awesome. All right, David's going to get us access to that, Curtis, as soon as he finds it. And that's in regards to the How to Get Super Rich in the Opportunity Market book. So any more questions before we start going over how the paid traffic is going to work and how you get it?
No, I would just like to mention another benefit of paid traffic is that not only is it scalable, that you can test your traffic sources. Well, how can you do it with free traffic? So.
Exactly, definitely. All right, guys. So here's what we're going to do. Right now, for the time being, we have to make sure that we can get enough volume as far as traffic to be able to make it happen. So, I mean, right now, we'll continue to grow. I mean, right now, and I have no problem with the group being small. Right now, we just have 33 members, which is completely cool. But I know in the original presentation I had mentioned trying to do the pay traffic at like $75 per share. I'm thinking that if we just round that up and just say an even $100 per share, so we'll do the traffic for $100 per share, and each share is going to get you 120 to 125, right? And then so from those clicks, here's this, I'm just going to break it down for you. Here's what you can expect, and none of this is, I'm just based on the results that I've gotten so far. This is what the general results would be for you, right? And the only thing that I can guarantee with paid traffic is the clicks, right? So you're going to get somewhere between 120 and 125 clicks for your $100 share. As far as leads and sales, I cannot, no one can guarantee that, right? So you should be able to generate, I believe it's between like say 45 and 50 leads from that 120 to 125 clicks, right? So the way you really need to think about this, and then from those you may get some sales, right? And I'm not even really gonna touch on the sales because that's not where the main objective is to think. Don't think about making $1,000 tomorrow. Think about having the ability to make $1,000 every single day a year from now. How do we get to that destination? It's by building an email list. So by you investing, say, $100 in a share to be a part of this traffic co-op, right? And that's going to generate 45 to 50 leads. These are people that you can make different offers to all the time moving forward. Again, in the industry, if you haven't heard this, the big gurus, the list building champions, of the internet, they say that every single person that is on your email list is equal to $1 per month, right? So say you invest $100 and you generate 45 leads. Those 45 leads, each of them is worth $1 per month. So, and the way I've noticed, it's not necessarily like if 45 new people opt into your list this month, they're not really necessarily worth $45 this month. But after you begin to communicate with your list and you're making them offers and maybe and they're following you and are, I would say you can count on that dollar per month, and realistically in like the next 3 to 6 months after they start communicating with you. So again, you invest $100, it's only gonna say it $50. Let's say it's 50 leads. Just keep the numbers easy. It's only gonna take you 2 months break even on that investment, right? So then after that, it's all gravy. It's all profit. It's all profits. Do you understand? So what we're going to do now is, again, we'll open up the co-op, and this is top tier traffic. I mean, so just so those of you that don't know traffic, there's tons of different ways you can buy traffic. There's people that hit you up on Facebook saying they have traffic and they can get you like stupid cheap traffic, and you're like, oh, it's so cheap, let me get it, and they give you like supposedly 500,000 clicks, but you don't even get a single lead, or you get like one lead from 500,000 clicks, and there's no way that anyone would ever buy from that list because it's so trampled on and beat up. No one's interested in that list, but they offer you that for like $10. Like, who wouldn't buy 500,000 clicks for $10, right? But all they're doing is they're collecting your $10 because it's such garbage. This is the traffic that we have access to is top tier. It's like Rolls-Royce type traffic, high quality, the real deal, right? So you can choose to buy as many shares as you want, So what you can do is simply, if you want to buy, again, here's the basic information you need to know is $100 per share. Get as many as you want. you know, if you want to get serious with your traffic, if you're going to buy, say, more than 10 shares, so if you're going to buy more than $1,000 worth of traffic, message me first and let's talk. And just message me first. You know, anything more than 10 shares, contact me. If you're going to do, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shares or whatever, what you can do is simply, I need to have the funds in and ready to go by, really by the end of the week. I need to have it by Friday. So today's the 4th, so I need to have the funds in. So if you want some of the paid traffic, I need to have it in by Friday, and then what I'm going to have to do on Saturday and Sunday is make sure that we have your funnel set up correctly. That way by Monday I can then send the information over to my traffic provider, and we'll be good to go. Especially if we end up getting a decent amount of traffic, we may not be able to start that traffic till the following Friday. So we kind of need to expedite this and get some things rolling. Again, to send whatever amount via PayPal. And then once you send it, if you'll just maybe send me a quick message and let me know, hey, Matt, I just sent you whatever, 400 for 4 shares, or hypothetically. Just let me know that you sent it. That way I can confirm. Make sure whenever you're using my PayPal email address that you put the dash or the hyphen in it. It's supposed to be there, so make sure you have that in it. Any questions? I'm sure I kind of rambled on in circles there. Tim, David, anybody? Does that make sense? You can buy as many shares as you want. They're $100 a share. You're basically buying your traffic, high top-tier traffic at roughly about 90 cents per click is what you're getting it for. Anywhere between 1 share and 9 shares, just go ahead and send it. If you're going to buy 10 or more shares, meaning you're going to spend over $1,000, contact me first. Let's talk, and that's really it, guys. And then once you've sent it, you know, all these funds need to be in by Friday. We'll say by 8 o'clock on Friday. The next traffic run we'll probably do probably try to do this at least once a month. And honestly, as the group grows, we may be able to do them more frequently. But for right now, with such a small group, we're probably looking at doing a traffic run once a month, and that's it.
Sounds good. Hey, I just want to know if I can go ahead and have the ad sent out today and then send a post-dated carrier pigeon.
What?
Something about a carrier pigeon or something.
Tim's always going to say something crazy. Does anybody else have any questions? Eugene, Zach, Rick, anyone among us in the group? Anybody?
No, I'm good.
All right, cool. And then, let's see. Eugene said something. Yeah, we've been on for an hour and 15 minutes, so I'm about ready to chill. Okay, awesome, Eugene. Glad you liked it, brother.
Very awesome, very awesome. Very good information.
Awesome, my friend. We'll be doing this every week, so obviously, depending on what stage you or anybody is at, there's always going to be questions that come up. And as we continue to move and grow as a community, too, what's going to be really cool with us is that the questions that you may have today, you may be providing that answer for someone quickly next week within our group. That way, it's just a pretty cool little thing we can do here. And I love that. I'm just excited to be doing something different other than just constantly offering business opportunities over and over again. And I really feel that we're, by getting on the right path and building an email list, the ultimate goal for me, and I'm sure you may be able to relate, is to be able to set yourself up for financial freedom as quickly as possible in the near future. And by jumping from business opportunity and doing it the old way that most people are doing online, for the vast majority of people, you wouldn't get there by doing it that way. That's just the truth in it. By putting on the brakes and saying, okay, let's turn left rather than keep on going to the right, and building an email list, without a doubt, if you just focus on doing that, there's no reason why in the next 6 months to a year that you can't have an email list that's thousands of people that you literally can make offers to every single day until they opt out, right? The only thing that's going to stop you from contacting people is by them basically unsubscribing from your list. And the majority of people don't unsubscribe. So that's something we were kind of touching on earlier. Some people unsubscribe from your list, but the majority of people, they'll sit there and, people are curious natured. People always want to know, oh, what's going on now? I know you understand that. People like to look around. What's going on? We're all that way. So most people aren't going to opt out of your list. They're going to continue to always, be peeking their head in, saying, okay, what's Eugene doing now? Now what's Eugene got? What's Tim doing? What's David doing? What's Jim doing? And they're just going to always be checking it out. So just continuously email your list, build a list, and that's it, guys. Cool.
One of the other, a couple different things I wanted to point out with the benefits really of having a smaller group or smaller organization. I mean, if you look at, there's really no saturation point in doing ads like on Facebook, for example, because there's so many, a billion people out there, right? So, but the benefits of having a small organization like this and to be able to share the results and tweak things and test different offers and say, okay, I tried this different headline. Here's what's working great for me. And we're not really even competing with each other because it's going, we're doing paid traffic, and we're doing, even free options when you're talking about using posting software and things like that. It's going to hit totally different markets. So there's really no limitation, but it's something that we get the benefit of each other's feedback, not only with with results, but also even like we talked about with paid traffic providers and things like this to try out different sources and get the obvious feedback every time we test a different campaign. And let's look at it too. Is Matthew has put a lot of money into different things and done a lot of the testing for you already. So he really took the money out of pocket to test a lot of things, in the tune of thousands of dollars, and we only have 40-something members in here so far. So it's something I think you can appreciate that you're actually getting the benefit of the expense that somebody else did to say, okay, now I've I ponied up all the cash to get these results. Now I'm getting 40% opt-in. Here's where I'm getting a sale or two or whatever here and there, and here's my benefits as far as long term. I've got I don't know, 50 or 60 people on my list. So you get the benefit of that having somebody else already done the legwork for you.
Yep, definitely. Carol has one quick question. How much would I recommend spending the first time? Obviously the minimum there's not really the thing I honestly wouldn't recommend, and this is probably something that you wouldn't expect someone to say. I don't expect and I wouldn't recommend anybody to, I really don't want somebody contacting me and saying, hey, I want to do $2,000 worth of traffic on the first run. I believe you should always test things out. I mean, I've already tested it, so you can see. I mean, and I've not just done one test. I've done multiple tests on this, and I'm consistently getting around that 40% opt-in rate. So that's what we can expect. But I would say, a fair little test run is, 3 to 5 shares is fair. Is plenty. But I just think that everybody, what I want to achieve now is I'm sure some of you guys have never really done paid traffic, and even if you have, you probably did it for like some sort of a business opportunity, and you weren't doing it in the proper way. The whole purpose in doing this is, I don't care if you buy 1 share, 2 shares, 3 shares, 5 shares, whatever. I want you to start building your email list. I want you to get excited about having an email list, and then begin starting to understand how to follow up with those, the people that opt into your list, and then how to do broadcast messages, and to start to see the big picture of, how beneficial and how powerful things could be in the very near future, right? So if the majority of people who are on here, maybe you've never made, a couple $100 in a day fully automated without having to work your tail off. This is the way to do that. So to answer your question, Carol, there really isn't a specific recommendation. I would say 3 to 5 shares is good. I think that's something you could probably easily do. Again, for everyone among us, I think that everyone should get at least 1 share just to see how quickly it can happen. to start building your email list. Let's see here. I think maybe a couple more questions came in. Okay, awesome. We're straight, you guys. Any other questions before I take off? Nope, nope, nope.
Good.
You okay, David?
Yeah, I'm great. Everything's good.
I thought you were choking.
Thanks, man.
All right, you guys, awesome. Well, it was really cool hanging out. And again, we'll be doing this. This is the only Monday we'll be doing this. Moving forward, we'll be doing it on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock. This Thursday is my wife's birthday, so I'll be making a post on my wall about that. Make sure you come over and wish her a happy birthday. Make her, smile a little bit. That'd be cool. Other than that, guys, enjoy the rest of your night. And if, again, even moving forward throughout the course of the week, if you have questions along the way, a lot of people are being extremely helpful in the group, and I really appreciate that. I think that's awesome. Please don't hesitate to ask any questions in the group. This, if there's any kind of a little obstacle, if it's something that you on your own, it might take you 3 days to figure it out, whenever we could answer it in 3 seconds. So don't hesitate to ask questions, and I can't wait to see where you guys are in the next 3 to 6 months. So with that said, all right, guys, have a great night.
Good night.